Thanks for watching this video created by HCL Boost. Don't forget to like, comments, and subscribe to my channel HCL Boost.
Today, we are going to know the amazing facts about
African clawed frog. Interesting facts. Question no one. What type of animal is an African clawed frog? The African clawed frog is a type of marine animal. Question no 2. What class of animal does an African clawed frog belong to? The African clawed frog is an amphibian, although they generally prefer the water and migrate to land only if forced to. Question no 3. How many African clawed frogs are there in the world? There is an abundance of African clawed frogs in the world. This is because they mate all throughout the year and lay hundreds of eggs at a time. Question no 4. Where does the African clawed frog live? African clawed frogs prefer grassland ponds and, in some cases, streams of semi-arid and arid regions. They do not go into the land unless forced to and prefer staying in the water. Question no 5. What is an African clawed frog's habitat? African clawed frogs prefer stagnant, warm grassland ponds and, in some cases, streams of semi-arid and arid regions. They prefer these ponds and streams to be filled with green algae and be free of high plant vegetation. They cannot tolerate any presence of metal ions in the water but can live in a high variation of pH of the water body. It is an aquatic animal that generally stays in the water unless it is pushed to migrate. Question no 6. Who do African clawed frogs live with? African clawed frogs are solitary creatures. They prefer living on their own but comes out to mate. They can, however, be caught and kept as pets. The African clawed frogs were used to detect human pregnancy and even now are also used in certain experiments. Question no 7. How long does an African clawed frog live? African clawed frogs have an average lifespan of about 15 to 16 years if they live in their natural habitat. The oldest known African clawed frog lived up to the age of 20 but in captivity. Question no 8. How do they reproduce? African clawed frogs have no particular breeding season. Breeding time can occur in any season but is common during spring. The male and the female frogs reach sexual maturity at 10 to 12 months. The male frogs do not have any vocal sac but create mating sounds by contracting their laryngeal intrinsic muscles and producing alternate short and long trills. The females get attracted to this call and respond with a rapping sound, which is an acceptance call, or a slow ticking sound, which is the rejection call. This phenomenon usually takes place during the evening or at night. On the underside of his forward and paws, the male grows mating pads. Most frogs have axillary and plexus, while the mating embrace of these frogs is pelvic. During the 3 to 4 hour act, the female releases hundreds of sticky eggs, which are usually attached to plants or other anchors, one or more at a time. Tadpoles filter feed as they grow from the eggs. During a span of 4 to 5 days, the tadpoles transform into small froglets with the tail absorbed into the body and maintaining its nutritional requirements. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks to go from egg to a small frog. Question no 9. What is their conservation status? There are plenty of African clawed frogs in the world thanks to their year-round mating season. However, they have become an invasive species after they were suddenly released into the wild after being held captive till the 1940s for use in detecting human pregnancy. Question no 10. What do African clawed frogs look like? The African clawed frog looks different from regular frogs due to the absence of a visible ear and a tongue. The wedge-shaped head is smaller than its body, which is flattened. Its eyes are small, without eyelids, and situated on the top of its head. While its large hind legs are webbed, the front feet are not webbed and slightly smaller in size. Its skin is a number of colors, ranging from gray to brown to olive gray, and its belly has a creamy white texture with a touch of yellow. Question no 11. How cute are they? African clawed frogs are considered cute. With their small appearance and multicolored bodies, they are often considered charming and are kept as pets. Question no 12. How do they communicate? African clawed frogs communicate with each other with the help of calls. Although the male frog lacks a vocal cord, it produces sounds by contracting its throat, which acts as a mating call to the female. The female either accepts or rejects the call by producing a rapping sound or a ticking sound respectively. However, the male's calls are rarely answered by the female. Question no 13. How big is an African clawed frog? African clawed frogs are not that big, with a weight of about 0.13 pounds to 0.44 pounds and a length of 1.97 into 4.72 in. Question no 14. How fast can an African clawed frog run? The African clawed frog does not run. They swim in every direction, up and down, backward and forward, at a speed of 5 miles per hour, and can sometimes be found crawling at a sluggish pace. Question no 15. How much does an African clawed frog weigh? An African clawed frog weighs about 0.13 pounds to 0.44 pounds. The female is heavier than the male, weighing about 0.44 pounds or 200 gm, while the males weigh about 0.13 pounds or 60 gm.